As you begin to relax wherever you're listening, perhaps in your workspace or somewhere you've found a quiet pause, you might notice the subtle way your attention can shift. Just as you might notice a gentle draft in a room on a summer's afternoon. It's there, yet it's easy to overlook until you focus on it. And it's interesting how, as you listen to the sound of my voice, some part of you may begin to sense a soft invitation to let yourself unwind and settle in, just as naturally as breathing in and out, knowing that simply by choosing this moment for yourself, you're already creating a kind of pocket in space, distinct from the routine of your day. And within this space, just imagine a long sunlit hallway, the kind you find in older buildings with high ceilings echoing with memory, where lights drift lazily through tall windows, reflecting off polished floors. Each quiet footstep becomes a gentle sound, a reminder that the path you walk here is your own pace, your own rhythm. And as you move down this corridor, you might notice how each step becomes a little less defined, like a pebble dropping into a deep pool, ripples smoothing into stillness. The echoes begin to blend into the background, allowing your own thoughts and feelings to rise and settle. And if you like, you can allow that gentle sense of settling to deepen, just as easily as you might pause for a breath and let it linger, finding perhaps that the space around you begins to feel more welcoming, more cooperative with each moment. And some people have said that dealing with bureaucracy is a bit like wandering through that long hallway, doors on either side, each marked with confusing signs and instructions, some clear, some faded. There's the temptation to hurry or push against the seemingly endless forms and protocols. And yet others have found that in pausing and listening to the quiet hum of the building itself, it's possible to notice a kind of music in the flow. And perhaps you too can imagine now that all the necessary steps, the papers, the processes, are simply different notes in this passage. And that instead of being barriers, they can start to feel like gentle markers guiding you through. And maybe in this experience, you'll notice how sometimes the hallway seems to stretch, as if time slows in waiting rooms or long email exchanges. Yet if you listen closely, beyond the initial tone of impatience, there's a subtle beat, the steady sound of your own footsteps, reminding you that you already have the resources within you to navigate these corridors with patience and strategy. If you've ever watched sunlight trace along a wall, moving almost imperceptibly through the day, it's easy to forget that progress is being made, even when stillness seems to rule. And just like that sunbeam, your intentions can be quietly persistent, finding seams of openness where resistance once appeared. And just imagine someone walking this same hallway, feeling at first that each door is a new barrier, another task. And as they pause to notice the architecture, the craft that went into shaping even the smallest details, something softens. Perhaps it's the realization that behind each form is a person, not a faceless process. Behind each sigh of impatient, possibility whispers. And with this, they begin to explore not how quickly to escape the space, but how to move skillfully within it. Curiosity emerges. What questions can open locked doors? What conversations create passageways where none seemed marked? And so the journey transforms. The walls seem less intimidating, the halls less endless, as the system becomes a set of steps rather than an obstacle. And maybe as you find, as you revisit your own inner hallways, that frustration signals only the desire for smoother progress, that every delay could be a chance for a new perspective. And some part of you might choose, even now, to recognize where flexibility and humor makes the path easier. Just as a shaft of light can playfully shift an entire room's mood with the turn of an hour, you can invite yourself to bring that same playful patience into your own encounters, noticing how with a small shift, bureaucracy transforms from an adversary into a dance partner, predictable yet improvable, frustrating but not immovable. And in this way, you might become curious about the unique rhythms and patterns you can create within even the most rigid of structures, quietly shaping your experience from within. And as you hear these ideas, you're free to carry forward what's most useful. Perhaps new strategies arise, or you find yourself responding with more ease and focus over time. That hallway is always there when you need it, a place to pause, to regroup, and to remember your agency and adapt with clarity. And in a moment, you might let your awareness gently return to the feeling of your body, where you're sitting or reclining, sensing the light or air around you, perhaps hearing the sounds in the room. Maybe you notice the subtle energy gathering in your hands and feet, or the calm return of your breathing's natural flow. With a gentle stretch, you can bring yourself back to the present moment, feeling refreshed and ready, carrying forward what serves you, leaving behind what doesn't. The hallway now a memory you can revisit whenever it's useful. And in the coming days, you may be surprised to notice increased calm and flexibility in moments that used to feel bureaucratic and frustrating, and respond with resourcefulness and composure. allowing small frustrations to transform into opportunities for creative navigation and understanding. Thank you for spending time here today. You've made progress just by showing up and listening today. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.